The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered 12! I covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. He is Dave Sharapan. I am Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube at Boston versus the Book and on Twitter X under the same handle at Boston versus the Book. Replayed on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM channel 156. I almost wore that same hat today, Dave, because it is frigid in Las Vegas today. How are you on this Tuesday?
Went outside last night at midnight before I went upstairs to go to sleep because the wind I felt like was going to blow my house away. I'm like, what is going on right now outside? Are the trees still standing? What is the furniture in the back moved like on its own? The chairs were all over the place. I'm like, okay, I don't know what's happening. And I walked outside and I went, oh my gosh, no. It's not the winds of change of the end of football season. It's winter in Las Vegas. One day of transition. It's gone. That's it. It was nice. And now it's not. It said on my phone, which I posted on the Twitter at SportsBK Consig, it said winds up to 40 miles an hour. 52 feels like 40. And I was like, man, that's like a total in the NFL when it's 52 and it feels like 40. But it was cold. So thanks to Chef Benny. He sent us these things last year, I believe. I said, you know what? I'm going to go for my walk this morning and wear the BVB beanie, which, again, when we get this store, just get more people involved and get these things out, you'll be able to wear it. It's freezing in my house. It's cold. And what does that say, IOWN? 80 in Northeast Iowa currently? 80 degrees? I mean, it ain't going to be 81 and sunny in Iowa?
Did you know on Halloween on Thursday, it's going to be 75 in New England?
What is happening right now?
Hasn't been that warm. It's like historically warm Halloween in New England. Like it's never in the 70s. It's always freezing cold. It's going to be colder here by a dramatic. It's going to be in the 40s at night here in Vegas. It's going to really put a dent in the kids' trick-or-treating time, mostly because mom and dad are going to be freezing.
Well, I say this all the time. Like, it's summer is hot. I mean, it's disgustingly hot. It's tolerable because at night it's you can live it. But the winter here, the wind blows for 4 months.
Yep.
And the high temperature, like 52, but when it feels like 40, it's chilly. I mean,
there's no humidity.
I'm Charmin soft now. I mean,
but the lack of humidity is a big deal. People don't understand that. That not only does it make it easier in the summer with our heat, it makes it colder in the winter because there's no humidity. So it's just biting cold. Full-size candy bars. Where are you on that, Dave? Are you a full-size candy bar house? I am not.
There's even a discussion about this?
Are you? I mean, I'm talking about not receiving. I know receiving is great, but are you giving away full-size candy bars on Halloween?
Absolutely.
Oh, see, I go to Target. I go to Costco and I get 2 6-pound bags of candy.
Okay.
I got 12 pounds of candy, and I give the kids all a handful of candy each.
Okay.
You know, we don't do one individual because I give them a variety rather than having one bar.
You have, like Jameis said, like Eminem said, you have one shot, one opportunity.
To give what? Candy away?
When the kids come to your door
every year,
you don't want to be the guy.
I give them candy. I give them I have 2 gigantic Costco size bags where I give them a variety of things. Some of them are gummy, some of them chocolate, some of them they get 5 or 6 different candies from me every time. So they get a good haul. They just don't get the full one.
Listen, I don't want no kids egging my house.
This is my
Ever.
former boss. If you want to know who's
Hello,
responsible,
Peter.
if you want to know who's responsible for this career of mine that I have talk radio, this is the dude that is. I've told the story. This is the dude that took me out back in Alabama and told me to come to Alabama. This is the guy that convinced me to come to Huntsville, Alabama, Athens, Alabama. Peter Thiel.
Thank you, Peter, for doing that.
He's giving away individually
somehow,
wrapped prunes.
20 years later, but you publicly saying that you give away individually wrapped prunes. The smiles on the children's faces are amazing. Peter, you're going to have to be very careful. Like Devil's Night was a thing.
Ooh.
You know,
Wednesday
I don't
night.
want my car touched. I don't want my house touched. Eggs are disgusting
Bad.
when they get put in your car or your house or your windows. You're damn right. One day, I'm going full-size candy bars, and there's going to be extra. We ain't running out. There is no running out.
Oh, yeah. I've never – I only ran out 1 year. I ran out 1 year, and it was actually the funny thing. It was actually the 1 year where I had a problem with a teenage kid who came at 10 o'clock at night to my house.
Well, listen, at times, like you got to shut off. The store's closed.
Yeah,
Like you
10
got to let
p.m.
them know, hey, buddy.
Freaked out my daughter, like to knock
no
10
good.
o'clock knocking on our door. He was in full blood. He was a doctor, but he had blood. He had fake blood all over him. And Maddie was not having it. And I was like, hey man, it's 10 o'clock. We got to go. Like we got to go. He's like, why? I was like, it's 10 p.m. It's over. Why? It's over. Like, sorry, Halloween's over. Like, best of luck to you.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
But we
Move
stand
on.
outside. Like I stand outside and just let them know. Just keep going.
Well,
Like
I've
after
got
9 o'clock.
cameras all over my house. That's the thing.
Same.
I've got motion detection cameras and whatnot. So like you come to my door, I got pictures of you coming and going. So like I got you all angles. So anything you do, you like smile, you're on candid camera, dude. So like whenever you come at the house or whatever else, it's not like we used to be when we were kids. When we were kids, you could get away with so much. And then they invented the Ring doorbell and then forget it. You can't do anything anymore. You're stuck on it. So 8 p.m. lights out. I don't mind that, George Mason. Just shut the whole thing off. Don't mind that. Just say, hey, we're cutting all the lights and we're done. 8 o'clock.
Trick-or-treating was so much fun when you were a kid. Like I loved it. It was a blast. You got to go around with we used a pillowcase and just threw candy in and just, we had a route. We made it our way to the fire hall and where they gave us popcorn balls. You ever have a popcorn ball?
A what?
Is that a pause? What do you mean? You don't know what a popcorn ball is?
A what?
It's a ball compressed of popcorn.
And that's good. This is something you want.
I don't know, but it was a weird thing because we only got them or saw them on Halloween at the Green Tree Fire Hall in Pittsburgh. So it wasn't great, but you knew what it was, and it was Halloween.
You hope you knew what it was.
Popcorn ball is the truth.
Really?
Ian Lights Out knows. Put it in a chat right now. Have you ever had a popcorn ball? I mean, popcorn balls.
You Philadelphia, you Pennsylvania people are awkward. You put French fries in your sandwiches and you eat balls of popcorn. What?
Listen, tough. Girl,
tough.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I don't even want to get into it, but you did this. What about? See? What does that say, Corbin?
When I was little, we had a neighbor who gave away pennies.
Pennies?
That's tremendous.
Now that guy
got egged.
Giving away pennies. I mean,
that guy got pennies thrown in his house.
He got on a list. They knew they were coming a year before. We got pennies at that guy's house.
You were saying what? I did what now? I opened what door?
When you have this what happened last night thing and you bury the lead, the Steelers aren't the top story.
Hi, Mr. Baseball guy. Really? Baseball, this, baseball, that. That's a nod to you. Not even a nod to me. I gave you the chance to talk baseball first, and you're bitching because your team has the softest schedule in the NFL, and you're 6-2, and you think you're good all of a sudden. Have you seen your schedule? I can't wait to go through your schedule. Your schedule, you guys are about to get literally bent over. I can't wait to watch all this Steeler love. You guys are in serious trouble. Your schedule is so hard the rest of the way. If you win 4 more games the rest of the year, I'll be impressed.
Are you aware we have a quarterback now?
Okay, sure you do. 6-2 is 6-2. I'll give you that. Yes, it is 6-2. But the schedule is as easy as anyone in the NFL has had, and you hit the bye week at a great time. You're hot. I'm not sure I like the bye, but you hit the bye, and your schedule is absolutely even harder than we said in August because the Browns may be really good. The Browns might be a problem for you guys coming up with Jameis at the quarterback spot.
The Browns may be really good?
Yeah, Browns might be good.
Oh, my goodness. All right, that's fine. Like, today's the last day of baseball season anyway, so it's good that we started with it because we won't be talking about it tomorrow. I mean, are you aware that in Yankee Stadium, when they lose, they still play Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, New York.
Like,
they don't
what? Like, I mean, you talk about playing,
it's
Sweet
stupid.
Caroline.
Yeah.
When they're down 10-2.
Yep.
Like,
it's the same thing. You go to New York to hear Frank Sinatra get played at Yankee Stadium. Yes.
You lost the game.
Yes. You're down 3-0.
They don't play I Love LA in Dodger Stadium when they lose.
Fair.
The game's over. Everybody goes home.
Yeah, right.
I can't believe they play. Like, I'm watching a game last night, the post-game coverage. I'm like, they played New York. Like, Frank Sinatra sings, they play that when they lose? They got 2 runs on a Verdugo 2-run shot in the 9th that he didn't even really want to run around the bases. He was like, I guess I'll go around the bases. Like, I guess.
Yeah. All right, hold on. We'll get to it right now. Todd Schrupp is joining us from FanDuel TV. We're doing our first touch of the Breeders' Cup. Remember that on Friday, we'll be at the Breeders' Cup. We will be at Del Mar coming up for a BBB Roadshow. Looking forward to, if you're going to be at the track, come and find us. We will know our exact broadcast location, hopefully by tomorrow.
No,
we'll know where we're going to be.
Sounds like Thursday we'll know.
Okay, Thursday we'll know. All right, so we'll know on this. But
I'm
Roadshow,
really hoping it's not like in a stall with the
I don't think it's going to case. I don't think we're going to have the hay in the stall. I don't think we're doing with that. Okay. But Roadshow's Friday from Del Mar coming up. We will be there from 1 to 3 Pacific time. Looking forward to seeing all you guys. So we'll start that today when we talk to Todd from FanDuel TV. We'll get his thoughts. It's going to be a big week with a lot of cool interviews. We may have a Hall of Fame jockey joining us tomorrow. We'll have Randy Moss on Thursday. And then on Friday, we're going to have a litany of really cool owners, gamblers, people on, all from the track at Del Mar coming up on Friday. So looking forward to having all you guys. And today we'll talk to Todd about picks and plays that he likes for the Breeders' Cup. So it's going to be a whole big week for us. Thursday, Friday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday interviews, and then Friday live from Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup, day 1 of the big race. So what happened last night? As I said, we'll start with baseball. Freeman goes deep again. 5th straight World Series game for him. He powers LA to a 4-2 win. Another dominant performance by Walker Buehler and the pitching staff for the Dodgers. I think if you and I were talking in July and the story was going to be the bullpen and the arms for the Dodgers, I think you and I would be like, give me a break. It is pretty surprising. The Yankees have now stranded 25 runners in scoring position. Aaron Judge is 1 for 12 with 7 Ks.
I got no real explanation other than I asked my oldest daughter last night, do you think they know like what pitch is coming when? Like, how does Freeman just keep, I don't want to be late on the heater is what he said after game 1. He ain't been late. Like, if they try to throw it anywhere middle in straight, he's killing the ball. Like, I don't know. And then on the opposite side, the starting pitching's been great for the Dodgers, which a week, forget about talking about it in July. We were talking about it in September, a week before the season ended, going, I don't know. If they don't get the couple starters, at least give them length, they're going to be in trouble. They got guys coming in, this and that, Dave Roberts, blah, blah, blah. Everything is perfect. They're doing everything perfect. What wasn't perfect was Fat Joe.
He sucked.
All the way up?
He sucked.
I love All the Way Up. But that was not all the way up.
It's not his song. He sung songs that weren't his. Those aren't his songs. Why do you have Fat Joe out there not doing cover songs? That was embarrassing. That was forced in because the Dodgers did it in game 2, and the Yankees were like scrambling, going like, "Well, what are we gonna do?
The Dodgers did it with Ice Cube,
and it fit. Ice Cube is West Coast. He is LA. He is the Dodgers. Like, that makes sense. I associate everything with that generation, that genre of music, with LA, with Crenshaw, with all of the things that happened with LA music. Fat Joe is not a Yankee guy. He may be from New York. He's not a Yankee guy. I don't associate him as just a guy with a Yankee jacket on. Like, well, what are we doing? It was so fake and so forced. I was like, get him off of the mound now. Why is he on the mound? You're not supposed to walk on the mound, by the way. He was all over the mound.
Have you ever been on a major league field on the day of a game and gone near the mound?
Yeah, they want to shoot you.
It's like walking over the line at a prison. Like it's like, hey, don't get near that mound. Like I when I went back to Pittsburgh and did the shows for the Root Sports and Sportsnet at Pittsburgh and all that stuff, we shot a bunch of pre-game video on the mound. And the groundskeeper were like, you can go everywhere except the mound.
Yeah.
Don't step on the mound. And this guy said it. And I looked over at B. Howe and I was with Lauren Jabara.
Yeah.
And I said, he's very serious about that. Don't go near that mound. Because that guy, I mean, and I was like, all right.
Big business.
Walking all over the mound with the Timberlands on.
You can't use Jay-Z, not because of the Diddy stuff, because they've already used Jay-Z. They already did that. They used him before the 11 World Series or whatever it was. They've already done the pregame performance with Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Can't do it again. It's already been done.
Oh.
That's why they had to use Fat Joe. It's already been used before.
It kind of seemed like, hey, we really don't believe that the Yankees are going to win. Like, let's get somebody out there and throw them out. Let's give him a really cool Yankees jacket, which, again, the jacket was Joe Zempic. That's pretty funny, Santana. Actually, it's pretty funny.
He's not Fat Joe anymore. He's Thin Joe.
Joe Zempic. That's it's pretty good. You got me. Threw me off. Undecided today for the Dodgers.
Right.
Undecided. Heel for the Yankees. I mean, what are we doing?
The best story, the best part of all of this is that in order for the Yankees to motivate their team, they have to show them what the Red Sox did to them by going and showing them the comeback on Netflix. Like, Aaron Boone's like, let's do some rally. Show the only team that's ever, fuck, that's us. I don't want to put that out there. I love it so much. But could Dave Roberts have it happen to him? I mean, he's the reason why Boston did to the Yankees. Talk about a crazy, like, Shakespearean ending to a story. If the Yankees do it to him.
So for those of you that missed the show yesterday, sorry, I dropped this. Nick Hamilton was on with us, and he's in LA. Nick Hamilton 213 on the Twitter. He talked about talking to Dave Roberts. I've been in that post-game room with Dave Roberts as a Dodger manager. He's pretty good. Like, he's unflappable. They asked him yesterday about that, being down 0-3, and he goes, yeah, we're not talking about that. Because the guy was like, there's very few people on planet Earth that know what it's like to be down 0-3 in a series and come back. But you're one of them. And he looked right at the guy and he goes, yeah, we're not talking about it. He goes, but from our side of it.
Ortiz is on there dancing going, they ain't like us. They ain't like us.
God, that was
right
great.
In front of Jeter and A-Rod. He goes, they ain't like us. I was dying.
Like Big Papi. I mean, he's through and through authentic, and he's dancing, and he's doing. Oh man,
the Yankees lose. He goes, it's a good day because the Yankees lose. I'm like, I couldn't love you more. Somebody asked me a question. I was doing something. I was doing like this thing for betting pros, or like a get to know you type of thing. And they're like, if you could have lunch with one athlete right now, former or present, who would it be? Mine's David Ortiz. I would love just to sit and have him tell stories and just listen to him laugh. The guy is just pure joy. Look, Yankee fans hate him. That's awesome. I love it. He embraced the hatred of the Yankees as much as any Boston athlete, and he loves to stick it to Jeter. And Jeter was getting pissed off last night. He was like, what are we talking about now? He's like, I don't want to be here. He's like, what I threw out the first pitch. We're down 0-3. This is horrible. It was so good. So good.
Did you watch the Netflix special yet?
I am not. I'm waiting for the Yankees to lose. Then I'm gonna watch it. And I figure I will be so happy when the Yankees lose the World Series. Then I can go and relive it again and be even happier that actually happened.
Yeah. You're gonna like Big Papi even more after that because he's unfiltered.
Right.
On the Netflix thing. So he could say what he wants, how he wants to say it. like us.
Yeah.
He didn't have to say sorry, Will, before he said things like we do. But it was great. That was fun.
MLB teams that have gone up 3-0 in best of 7 series, 39-1.
With
the one
31 sweeps.
31 sweeps.
Maybe we can trick the algorithm if we say sweeps enough during this segment. We'll get caught up in it because everybody's talking about sweeps, but different sweeps.
Yeah.
I'll ask you this because I asked last night, like to the kids and everything. Do you want to sweep?
Yes.
I don't really want to talk about another game, like game 5.
I just want as much pain and misery as possible. I just want pure embarrassment. I want Aaron Judge over 4. I want a sweep. I want them celebrating on their field like the Red Sox did in 04. I want them to have to watch all the hats and the t-shirts and everyone jump up and down and run around and have fun. Go out to Monument Park and dump out things on Monument Park. It's great. Yes, I want it over with, and I want as much pain as possible.
Let's ask the chat right now. Do you want this to end tonight? Yes or no? Just
Everyone's
type it in the
yes.
chat.
I
don't know. I think there's a couple Yankee guys like CBW.
Fine, Yankee fans want to see it go, but that's it.
Don't let them win today. He said earlier in the chat, don't let them win today because we got Cole tomorrow. And then we got, I don't know.
Who? Nobody back in LA. Enjoy it.
It ain't no Pedro and Schilling.
And Lowe.
Yeah, no.
You don't have that setup going for you. Sorry. It's not what you got lined up for the Yankees. And again, they're not hitting. So, I mean, I guess nuclear things can happen for Judge and everything clicks, but like
my man looks super lost.
He does not know where the ball's going. He's guessing. He got a walk last night. He drew a walk. Got on base finally.
That's a start, I guess. But like I heard him. It has to end today, Pedro. Vamos pela verida. I wish I knew exactly what that meant, but you could tell me in
win
English
tonight. Sorry.
I don't know.
Not dang. This is 2 crazy stats. 38.8% of the pitchers who have pitched so far in the World Series have had Tommy John surgery in their career. 17 for the Yankees. Sorry, for the Dodgers, and 16 for the Yankees.
It's like going to get a physical.
It's just like
becoming the norm.
A normal thing to do.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Let's go get TJ. They call it TJ. They don't even say Tommy John anymore. Our friends with Ian. And, his son got drafted by the Braves first round 2 years ago. We were at the draft. Me and Kylie and or Kendall me and Kylie were in LA. That's where it was. And he got drafted, went to the minors, and then they gave him TJ right after the season. They're like, you're getting Tommy John. He got a little pain in his arm. And they're like, yeah, you need Tommy John, but you'll be better. And I remember asking Ian, are you good with it? He's like, dude, it's normal now.
17 pitchers for the Dodgers this season. 17. That's it's the most in the majors, but is an obscene number of pitchers who have had reconstructive surgery on their elbow.
Yeah. It's normal.
It really is. And you come back stronger, like you said, but you miss. Teams are willing to eat the salaries. I think the difference with it now is that teams are willing to say, we'll see you in 18 months. Like a lot of people,
the recovery one is quicker, but 2, it used to be a guess. Is this guy ever going to pitch the same?
Yes.
There's so much more certainty with it where, guys having Tommy John, he may never pitch again, or he may never be the same. Now he's having Tommy John. He's going to be the same or better. The exception is that he doesn't pitch again. It's as hard as that is to believe.
Yeah. They throw harder. Pitchers that come out of the Tommy John surgery tend to throw 2 to 3 miles per hour harder.
Yeah.
So if you're throwing 96, go get Tommy John, you're throwing 99. So that's why they do it. I mean, you just all that wear and tear coming up in high school, college, minors, into the bigs, and then you get it done, and now you throw harder. Your elbow can take more stress. And and you're right. The sliders are harder as well because your elbow can take more pressure.
Right.
So you can throw it you can throw it harder. So
But
it
the
is really
spin
wild.
rate.
Yeah. Your curveball is tighter. Your sliders it has a more of a biting break to it. It's remarkable. But this is the Tommy John World Series. So is it over tonight? I mean, we don't know who the Dodgers are pitching, and yet the Yankees are favored like they were last night.
I mean, the books are rooting for another game where, you take bets and have handle, and baseball fans, true baseball fans, probably want to see another game because after this ends, there's no baseball talk until
Spring training.
well, no, it starts tomorrow, but it talks about where's Juan Soto going to sign.
Yeah, right. It's
Like it's the off-season talk, which again, baseball off-season talk is great. I love it. And numbers get adjusted and all this other stuff. But like people ask me all the time, how do you make a line? I was asking that question when I saw this one.
right. Without knowing.
Dodgers are minus. I mean, the Yankees are minus. Like to make the game a pick 'em. And if you want to take Dodger Yankee bets, let them. Okay. Like this is encouraging Dodger bets, which again is probably what they want. Maybe some places. Oh God, big business. Did the Yankees trade Aaron Judge? All that starts. That is so annoying. Like the nonstop chatter of, yeah, trade him to Pittsburgh. Like that's what we need to do. Trade him to somewhere where he can relax and just hit and play the outfield in a beautiful ballpark. That'd be awesome. Is it over? I kind of hope it is. I hope it's
I
done.
more than hope it is. I want it to be over. End it.
Yeah, but you're like anger rooting.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah, that's like
Stevie Mac. Good to see you, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while.
Stevie Mac. Don't
overthink it.
Dodgers money line. I mean, there's a lot of people that will say that.
It's plus money. I mean, if you haven't been betting it, I don't know if I'd bet it now.
Right.
But if you bet Dodgers game 1 and Dodgers game 2 and Dodgers game 3, 100% take Dodgers game 4. It's plus money again.
Have they put the lineup out yet? I mean, they got to put Judge
Yankees,
in front of
yeah.
all of these guys. Or
no. Let's see. It's Gleyber Torres bats first. Juan Soto bats second. Aaron Judge bats third. Chisholm fourth. Mike Stanton fifth. Rizzo, Volpe, Wells, Verdugo.
Wait, who's batting fourth?
Chisholm.
In front of Stanton?
Yes.
Is Mike Stanton? I don't mean to call him Mike. I'm sorry, Mike. I disrespected you. Giancarlo Stanton, the slowest runner in baseball now?
He's one of. And that throw was money.
The throw was right on, but he was running in slow motion.
He's a slow motion runner. Yes.
Like my daughters called me from their dorm room and said, is he hurt? Like, why is he on the base paths? Like, Daddy.
Remember, he can't push the hamstring. Remember that's what kept him out. So he can't push the hamstring. He's got to be careful. That's what hurt.
Careful.
He missed.
Maybe the third base coach goes, hey,
hold up.
Stop. You're gonna get thrown out. Stop. That's a bad send. Like immediately my daughters, because you pick up all these words and lingo and different things from coaching and being around a game. And immediately Kylie calls and says, first, is he the slowest guy in the majors? And I'm like, maybe. He's hurt, but he shouldn't have been running. And she goes, was that a bad send? I said, what do you think? And she's like, yes. Like you would have stopped him, right? And I'm like, I would have held up an immediate stop sign.
I would have sent him. I would have sent him. You can't score. You haven't been scoring runs. I send him. Make the throw perfect. Throw is perfect. Make the guy make the play and then tip your cap. I would have sent him. You can't score runs. You've been struggling at every time. 25 runners left in scoring position in this series by the Yankees. I send him. I just say, you know what, man? I don't care how slow you are. Maybe a bad throw. Maybe the ball pops out. Run. Go. I send him. In that moment, I send him. I had no problem with that.
Yeah, see, I don't. I try to make sure we're going to score when we have the few opportunities to actually score, but I don't know. That was it for me. When that happened, I was like, well, the Yankees are going to lose. Yep. That's it.
Series over.
Any hope I had was done right there.
Series over.
Yeah, that's it. So,
hell of a throw.
We had Frankie DeFade on yesterday. He was great, live from Roto Rooter before he went to the game. And I was texting with him last night, and he's like, man, after the game, I said, are you home yet? And did you stay the whole game? He stayed the whole game. I mean, it was his first World Series game ever. And I said, did you ever at any point think the Yankees were going to win?
By the
He
way,
said no.
breaking news from Bob Nightingale. The Philadelphia Phillies are expected to strongly pursue Juan Soto, trying to team him up with fellow Scott Boras client Bryce Harper. That's already starting. They're already putting out the feelers. The body isn't even cold yet, and they're already saying, we're going after Juan Soto.
I mean, aren't you supposed to let the World Series finish before you start putting this out there? Is that a fake story just to get the Mets to bid more? And then they're going to all break the Yankees? They're going to break the Yankees.
I think it's tremendous.
Like the Yankees are going to just let them walk?
But this series.
Oh, it's over.
It's over. This series gets played and it's over. See you later. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming, Yankees. Bye-bye. Steelers won a 22nd straight Monday Night Football game last night. 22nd straight is an insane number. 22 straight wins on Monday Night Football. 26-18, the win over the Giants.
Nobody was.
Giants did the Giant type of thing. They had the football down 8, driving because Russ fumbled. Russ tried to give the game away, and the Giants just did Giant things and unfortunately gave the ball right back and ended the game with a pick, which is what Daniel Jones does. He throws picks. Pittsburgh is now 6-2. Their schedule is about to get so much tougher after
Can
the
they
bye.
play on Monday night every week?
Right?
Can we just do that?
What is the final record of your team, Dave, after the bye week? Because
you have this slide here coming.
I do. I think this is
the production value of this show has been questioned in the past. I think people can take away that question because P-Roll gets a little bit of time, and now we have graphics, we have videos. By the way, if you missed yesterday's video summarizing the weekend in sports in 2 minutes with complete outstanding Spanish calls, go back and watch that. It's available on Matt's Twitter, my Twitter, on the YouTube channel. Go in there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Steelers wins, rest of the way go.
At
bye week, we're winning the bye week.
Fine, 6-2. At Washington.
Go get a dub down there at the dub.
Loss. Home for Baltimore.
Winning that game too.
Loss. At Cleveland.
Wrong.
At Cleveland.
Cleveland.
On Thursday Night Football. Short week.
That sucks.
After Baltimore.
That's
loss.
Good. That's not a good spot right there. I'll give you an L there. Yeah.
You'll beat Cincinnati on the road.
Damn, I hope so.
You'll beat Cleveland at home.
Hell yes.
And then I don't think you win another game.
Rude. That's rude.
At Philly, loss. At Baltimore, loss. Kansas City at home, loss. And then Cincy is a question. You guys may not need it.
Christmas?
9-8.
Beating the Chiefs on Christmas. And listen, if you're in a Survivor contest, congratulations for getting through.
You're not beating the Chiefs on Christmas.
Hell yeah, we're beating the Chiefs on Christmas.
No, you're not.
Are you nuts?
They're going to need it. Chiefs are going to need it.
They're going to need squadouche.
They're going to need it. Chiefs are going to need that game.
What are you talking about?
Chiefs are going to need that game.
This is really going to be a problem in this house. I'm just telling you right
9-8.
Our whole day Sunday centered around
Philly does not suck. Philly sucks.
She had a zillion errands to run, only didn't tell me.
Okay.
So I got told, you stay home with Kendall. Me and Grandma got stuff to do, but we'll be home to watch the Chiefs game. I'm like, the Chiefs game? They're playing the Raiders. They're going to kill them. What do you want to watch a Chiefs game for?
Didn't cover.
I want to watch the Chiefs game. I watch the Chiefs game every week. I was like, the Bears are playing Washington. She's like, you can watch it upstairs. We're watching the Chiefs game.
Wow.
So Christmas morning, all the kids will be home.
Yep.
The Steelers are playing.
Yep.
And if she has Chiefs stuff on, we're going to have a problem in this house. That ain't going to happen.
This schedule, we talked about this in August. We talked
6-2, so 10-7 is realistic.
100%. Yeah. 9-8, 10-7. Yeah, absolutely. Does that win the division? I don't think so. Odds on favorite Ravens still right now.
As it should be.
Ravens picked up a good wideout today. Your former wideout. Deontay Johnson got traded to the Ravens today.
Good move.
Yeah, it's minor. It's not as big as people think it is. I think it's a nice move to help their passing attack, but they're going to run the football. They're going to go as far as Lamar and their running game takes them.
Steelers aren't losing to Cleveland.
Oh yeah, I think you're splitting with the Browns.
Split I'll sign for.
Okay.
And split I'll sign for with Baltimore. So that's 2.
I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be a fun game to watch. I don't trust your quarterback.
We've been invited to that game in Philadelphia, just for the record, just so you
Philly
know.
Eagles Steelers.
Yeah.
Fun game.
I don't know if you want to go.
See, Jim says you're 8-9.
Jim Wigger. Hello, Jim. That's a nice J for an avatar. 8-9? What? Oh, Jim. I mean, thank you for being here. All right. There's something for the chat to do while you're here watching the show. The crowd is shuffled in. Thank you all for being here. How many wins did the Steelers end up with on the season?
10.
P-Road has it right there. Pittsburgh is 6-2. Schedule about to get much tougher, in his opinion, not mine.
What do you
mean?
mean?
A little tougher.
Wait a minute. Well, hold on. You said
what's the number going to be?
Wait. So all of a sudden in August, you were like, holy shit, we're in trouble after the bye. And now that they've won 6 games, you're thinking, oh, we're not in trouble?
We got a quarterback.
Look at the schedule you have.
We got a quarterback.
Wow, you really are drinking the Kool-Aid with Russell Wilson. You tried to fumble the game away last night. If you had lost that game last night, would you still be saying we got a quarterback? He tried to give the game away.
You should have heard the outburst from the other side of the house.
I mean,
it was hilarious. I was like, uh-oh. Yeah.
You got a quarterback who can't hang on the football in crunch time. He runs the ball, gets the ball punched out.
But if TJ Watt is healthy, is there a more impactful player in the game?
No, but if you have an offensive line, you can scheme it up and stop him. But the Giants don't. And the Giants have a quarterback who now is 1-15 straight up in primetime. Like, not just bad, he's horrible.
Tough spot to be in. They look like they want to be anywhere but where they're at sometimes. Right
everybody was, you could sense that was the season. Like, you look at the sidelines, you look at the way Dabble was approaching it. The refereeing was unwatchable last night. Was unwatchable.
It's really, and I don't want to sound like that guy or this show or whatever, but you really got to start to look at this, and it has way more impactful stuff than just the gambling. But my goodness, the refereeing is so inconsistent and it's so obtrusive. Like, it's just so something happens and you're like, was there a flag? Is there a flag?
Oh yeah, every time. Every time.
It's not just on the punt return or it's on every play.
In third, I would love for someone to do the research to find out how many third down flags are getting thrown this year, because it really feels like drives are getting extended way more often than normal on third down. They're like, okay, first down, you can kill each other. Second down, it's fine. But third down, flag comes out, drive gets extended. It's like, wait a minute. I hate this about refereeing in general. Same with basketball. Like, if it's a foul in the first half, it's a foul in the last minute. If it's a foul on first down, it's a foul on third down. Like, stop this inconsistencies. Like, call the game the way the game's supposed to be called. Don't call it based upon the time and score. It pisses me off to no end. Last night, I'm like, every time the Giants had a third down to get off the field, flag came out. Steeler drive gets extended. It's like, well, and then on the other way around, I was like, okay, are you going to call it the same way? And it didn't feel like they were calling it the same way for the Giants, at least when it came to the holding penalties came out like crazy on third down against the Giants, not the PIs on the other way. Yeah, it's like watching SEC refs in some ways. Yeah, in some ways the referees are having a lot of influence on the way these games are going. And that's really hard to stomach that.
Georgie Mason, good to see you here, sir. He said it's consistently horrendous. It has too much influence in the outcomes of many things, whether it's first half bets, whether it's, total team points, whether it's this, whether it's just extra, like the kids say. It's too much. I don't know.
Not great.
10 is my number for the Steelers.
All right. I say 9. But 10's good. 10-7 is a wild card team. They're in. You're a playoff team at 10-7. I think you're 9-8.
There's 9 games left, so they go 4-5 the rest of the way. What if they go 6-3?
That is not happening. I'll
fall 6-3. They're 12-5, and they may be in the argument for not just the division, but it's not going to be the best record. Chiefs are going to get the best record.
Chiefs are undefeated. Chiefs will lose 6 games between now and the end of the year. No. That's not happening.
What can happen?
6 games. Mahomes getting hurt. Only way.
What if he gets hurt?
Okay. If he gets hurt, everything's on the table. But if he doesn't get hurt, I don't think that's gonna happen. All right, guys. We told you about what's happening on Friday. We will be live from Del Mar Friday, the 1st of November, from 1 until 3 Pacific, 4 until 6 Eastern, right here on this very YouTube channel live. We'll replay it on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM channel 159, like we have mentioned. Let's talk about some horses. He was on last time with us. He gave us some winners last time. Todd from FanDuel TV joining us here to talk everything about the Breeders' Cup from Del Mar. Todd, Matt, and Dave, thanks for coming on. How are you?
I should just be like Freddie Freeman, just hit that walk off and call it that. I was happy last time I joined you that I was able to get the Kentucky Oaks winner to you. And here we are about 6 months later. And, you know, a lot of people who tune in just for the Triple Crown don't even quite understand, if you don't follow sport year round, this is actually the 2 best days for thoroughbred racing, the Breeders' Cup. It's the best of the best in every division. And then you add in horses shipping from overseas. And it just from a betting perspective, you're going to be astonished at the prices and the payoffs you get. This is a great couple of days coming up.
Love it. Great to see you, sir. Yes, you killed it last time you were on here. We had so much fun. But you did provide winners. Provide a little bit of a picture for us and everybody watching and listening all around the world as to what Friday is like versus Saturday, because I've tried to explain it from the gambling end of it and what it was like, because we used to have people come to Vegas and just live in the book all day Friday to bet and then come back and do it all day Saturday. But it's different races, right?
Exactly. And it's a totally different theme. So with the Breeders' Cup, as I mentioned, you know, in the Kentucky Derby, it's the best 3-year-olds at that time going 1.25 miles in the biggest race we have in the United States, the most famous race that we have. What happens over the Breeders' Cup is those 3-year-olds have grown up. There's no particular race for 3-year-olds that were those 3-year-olds on older horses in the Breeders' Cup Classic, which is the biggest over the 2 days.
Second, Todd.
So Friday.
Okay, you're back. Okay, you froze for a second. Sorry. Go ahead.
So Friday is about the younger horses. So the early stage horses start racing is 2. So they call Friday Future Stars Friday. So the 5 championship races on Friday, there's a 10-race card overall. 5 of them are not, quote unquote, Breeders' Cup championship races, but the other 5 are, and they're all 2-year-olds, but they're 2-year-olds sprinting on the turf. They're 2-year-olds going longer on the turf. They're 2-year-olds on the main track. So they call it Future Stars Friday because it's all about the 2-year-old racing. And then on Saturday, you have a 12-race card where 9 of them are Breeders' Cup championship races, and they're various divisions. Top horses sprinting on the grass. The Breeders' Cup Classic, which is the richest race, $7 million. It's 1.25 miles. Well, where you will see horses that ran in the Kentucky Derby now taking on older horses. You'll see one of the top 3-year-olds in the world, a horse by the name of City of Troy, who's coming over to the Classic to try and run on the dirt for the first time and win our biggest race, the $7 million Classic. So Saturday is going to be many more races within the Breeders' Cup Championship. And then Friday is going to be about the promise of young horses with 5 championship races there. Both days are phenomenal.
Todd, you mentioned the international flavor, and just what I've been reading so far is a number of Japanese horses that are coming over to be a part of this race weekend. Why so many, and what does that do to the handicap?
That's such a great question. When I started at TVG, which was the precursor to FanDuel TV, so we were just horse racing. FanDuel wasn't our parent company at the time. We covered a race at Hollywood Park. It was called the American Oaks. It was for 3-year-old fillies on the turf. It was $1 million. And there was a horse that came over from Japan by the name of Cesario. This was the first horse to come to the United States in 50 years to race in a Grade 1 race. Cesario ended up winning. And you did not see Japanese horses take on big races in America consistently. That changed in 2021 at the Breeders' Cup here at Del Mar when Japan won 2 of the Breeders' Cup races on Saturday. It was almost a signal to the rest of Japanese racing. You can come to the United States, you can compete at the highest level, and you can win. So what ended up happening this year in the Breeders' Cup, they had more foreign entries than they've ever had. And in Japan alone, they have 19 horses that shipped over just for the Breeders' Cup. Unheard of. I mean, think about that. One horse 20 years ago trying to breed one for the first time in 50 years, and now we have 19 coming over this year, and it's only going to continue like that. And if you look at, you guys were talking about the World Series. If you look at the viewership for the World Series, it's about 13 million here in the United States. 15 million people are watching the World Series per game in Japan, a much smaller country. They're watching, obviously, because they're supporting Ohtani and Yamamoto on the Dodgers. Any athlete, any endeavor that Japan makes, they have the full support, really, of their countrymen. And so what this has done for the Breeders' Cup to have so many Japanese entrants has brought significant interest from Japan in a viewership point of view, but also a wagering point of view. There were 4 races at the Breeders' Cup last year that Japanese bettors could place wagers on. In those 4 races in Japan alone, they bet $20 million on those 4 races. They love their horse racing, they love their sports overall, and they love to bet. So to have these 19 entrants here has changed the dynamic of this Breeders' Cup. And I would look at this as a seminal moment and say, this is truly going to be an even more international event than it has been over the previous 20 years because of what Japan is doing. And then you mix into that, we've got a horse from South Africa. We've got several horses, obviously, who race over in continental Europe. The powerhouse team in Ireland of Aidan O'Brien, and then the powerhouse team of Godolphin, who race all over the world. It really is, it's almost like the World Cup in a sense of thoroughbred racing. Racing is great in and of itself. Any sport is great, but when you add the international part of it and people cheering for their country's entrance, it just takes it to a whole new level. So I'm really excited about this Breeders' Cup, if you couldn't tell.
Talking about taking it to a whole new level, you've been to tracks all over. I mean, not just, domestically, international, all this other stuff. You've been in the game a long time. Tell the people why being at Del Mar just sounds different, looks different, smells different. Why Del Mar is different. Why is it, Todd?
It is the only track where when you sit in the grandstand, you can see the Pacific Ocean. You can see any ocean. There's no track in America. Yeah, Monmouth Park is in Oceanport, New Jersey. It's near the ocean, but you don't see the ocean. Yeah. Del Mar was started by Bing Crosby, and it was started well over 80 years ago. And Bing Crosby, in fact, you could trace the roots of Pebble Beach back to a clam bake he did there, and that was the start of that golf tournament, that golf course. So it was really started as a playground for Hollywood celebrities, and it has endured since that time. But the mystique is the fact that literally the ocean is just a couple hundred yards away. So Bing Crosby wrote the song Where the Turf Meets the Surf, and one of the great traditions during the summer meet here at Del Mar is when the horses come out on the track for the first race, they play the original version of that song with Bing Crosby. And so that moniker, Where the Turf Meets the Surf, you completely understand when you get here. And it is magical, especially when you get towards the later part of the day. We've been covering workouts in the morning and having the sunrise is something, but you're not going to see that during the racing. But when you get later in the day and the sun starts to go down, there's nothing like the sunset you see down here at Del Mar. And here you are in this beautiful racetrack and perfect environment. And it's one of the reasons why they're running the Breeders' Cup in back-to-back years at Del Mar. The Breeders' Cup, the tradition has been it travels to different racetracks, but Del Mar is one that they've made sure that they've gotten to several times. And so this will be the first of back-to-back years.
Next year, is there 2 next year?
Yeah, so the Breeders' Cup will be back here at Del Mar next year, and then sometime within the next year, they'll announce where it will go at the years that follow. Some people think the renovated Belmont Park, which they should be done with that project after 2025. You could look at 2026 and probably think the Breeders' Cup would be there. That certainly is going to be one of the options that they're going to have. Coming back to Churchill Downs, home of the Kentucky Derby, would be an option. Keeneland Racecourse, also in Kentucky, an option. And, definitely trying to, with the Breeders' Cup, you just want to make sure you avoid bad weather this time of year. If you're on the East Coast, it's hit or miss. Here at Del Mar, it's always 74 and sunny. Although, as I say that, Saturday, they actually have a 40% chance of rain. Not significant rain, but there could be rain on Saturday.
I was going to ask you that because whenever we're talking about the Derby, we're always talking about pop-up thunderstorms and the potential for a wet track or a wet turf. What's the handicap like knowing, okay, say Friday, maybe Saturday, some light sprinkles or rain, but most likely we're going to have a fast track or a dry track. How does that even out the handicap? Is it easier to handicap these races because the weather may not be a factor?
I think the in between, when you get a track that's been rained on and it's drying out, it's changing race to race. So I would prefer either a fast track, and I think most horse players would agree with this, or I'd prefer a sloppy racetrack where it's standing water. But when you get muddy, when you get good, when you get a cuppy racetrack, kind of a sticky racetrack, that's a racetrack that's always changing, and some horses just take to it and some of them despise it. As far as the turf course is concerned, the Jimmy Durante turf course here already has a little bit of give in it. If there were a decent amount of rain overnight, say into Saturday, where the big turf races are on Saturday, that would favor the European horses because those horses race on grass mostly, and the type of turf courses they run over have a lot of give in them, and they have a lot of rain, a lot more rain than we do. So for me personally, if it's going to rain, I hope it rains a lot and it's a sloppy track. I don't like the idea of a track that's constantly changing and drying out throughout the day. I think overall we're going to be fine with the amount of rain that they're expecting. I would expect a fast racetrack both days and probably a firm turf course both days too.
We show up Friday morning. We're getting a car from the airport and getting to the track. What should we do? Like, what does someone do for the first time ever at a Breeders' Cup? I mean, like, I'm trying to prepare Matt for going to the track and going to a race for the first time. I've been to Del Mar. I love it. I know where to kind of walk around and go, and depending on where we're at. But I told him, you're basically starting at the top. Like, if we ever go to like the Arkansas Derby, Todd, it's going to be kind of not the same. But what do we need to do once we get the show and everything set up Friday? Where should we walk around? What do we have to see or do or eat?
I mean, I want you to go off the grounds. I don't know how feasible it's going to be for you, but there is a treasured restaurant that sits, I don't want to say a bluff, but it sits up in an elevated area in the corner. If you're sitting in the grandstand and you look out to the far turn, just up above the rails there on that little bluff, you'll see a seafood restaurant called the Brigantine. And
it's the best.
Oh, it's the best. And they're known for their fish tacos. But here, the weird thing about it is you can't go in the main dining room and get the fish tacos that everybody's talking about that people have eaten for 50 years and love. You've got to go into the bar area, but the bar area also includes a wraparound deck. And if you sit on those chairs and you eat your fish tacos, you're overlooking the far turn at Del Mar. In fact, some people stay there during the races and they watch races during the regular season or during the fall season there. But it's this gorgeous view because it has the Amtrak train, the Pacific Surfliner, which is one of the great ways to get to Del Mar, because that's also in the song "Take a Plane, Take a Train, Take a Car." You can take a train from really all of Northern California all the way down to Del Mar. So that railroad line runs between the Brigantine and the track itself. So when you sit there on the corner at the Brigantine, you've got the ocean to your right, you've got the Pacific Surfliner, the Amtrak train coming through every once in a while, rolling by, and you've got the racetrack right there. It's right out of a postcard. It's so fantastic.
It's literally looking like I had someone tell me this exact thing the first time I went. They said, you got to go there and have lunch before you go to the track. And I sat there and said, do we have to go to the track? I said, this is amazing. I feel like I'm looking at heaven. What heaven would look like. It was great.
You get it. And once people see it, you'll understand what we're talking about, because describing it does not do it justice. But that's how you feel. It's like I was all excited to go to the races, but I could actually just sit here all day. One thing to remember about Del Mar, it is a dual purpose facility. It's not just a racetrack. It becomes a racetrack in the summer. It becomes a racetrack for their fall meet. It is a racetrack, obviously, for the Breeders' Cup. It's also a fairground, so they hold a major fair there, and they have to get it ready each and every year. But there's a lot to see and do in the area. If you had even more time, I would say go jump in the ocean before you go to the races, because that's my routine. I like to clear my head in the Pacific Ocean.
Cold.
It's one of my favorite stretch of beaches anywhere. Yeah, now it's very cold. I mean, the Pacific Ocean is always cold during the summer, but right now it's really cold.
Really cold. All right, Todd, last question. I'll let you go because we can't wait to see you on Friday. What are you looking at for Friday? I know it's early. We got to get through a lot of the horses, but are there things that you're taking a look at? Any races, any horses you have your eye on that you're looking to potentially play if things fall correctly?
Yeah, we've had a show every morning where we watch the horses working out here, and horses are preparing for these races, say Kentucky or elsewhere, and shipping out here. So on Friday, there's 2 races that I'm very interested in. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies and the Breeders' Cup Juvenile itself. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies, I think Japan has a great chance with American Bikini, and I think she's going to be a very good price. So race 7 on Friday. American Bikini, I think Japan's going to score their first win in the NetJets Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. And then the Breeders' Cup Juvenile is supposed to be, in theory, a preview maybe of horses that will be in the Kentucky Derby next year. There's 2 really good.
Oh no!
Oh no, he got a call.
The internet kid kicked him out just as he was giving us the winners. Oh
no!
We'll see if we can get Todd to come.
Oh no!
To get him to come back on that.
What a cliffhanger!
What a cliffhanger!
I was just waiting for that. We got the America's Bikini. How could you forget that horse name?
That's easy. Easy. American Bikini we got. That's oh, I think we got it back. Okay, hold on.
Okay,
I think
good. Thank goodness.
The internet did not want to cooperate, but I think we got Todd back. Hold on one second.
That was the Parimutuel pool zapping him.
Yes, that was the people saying no.
Parimutuel pool just zapped Todd right when he was going to give away the winner.
He can't do it. All right, we got you back, Todd.
Thank God. All right, come on.
Okay.
So you were saying juvenile, and then you got cut off.
Okay, so he's been the most impressive horse in the mornings. His name is East Avenue. He looks like King Kong out there. But there is another horse in that race that I think is just as good. I think it's a 2-horse race. East Avenue, Jonathan's Way. They're both in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. That will be the most anticipated race of the day on Friday, because the thought is these 2-year-olds, obviously they're going to turn 3 next year and get on the Kentucky Derby trail. I think East Avenue is as good of a 2-year-old as trainer Brendan Walsh has had. And then Jonathan's Way, I was at Saratoga when he won his debut. I knew he was special, and he proved it when he came back and won the Iroquois last time out. I think that's as sure of a showdown as we'll have that entire day. East Avenue versus Jonathan's Way. That'll be race number 9 on Friday, the juvenile. And like I said, race 7 in the juvenile fillies, American Bikini for Japan.
That's perfect. All right. Before we let you go, I have one more question, and it's completely unrelated to horse racing. You're a Viking fan? Is that what I'm to understand? Like the Vikings?
I'm gonna stop you right there. When you guys were talking about flag football, what the NFL has become, imagine being a Vikings fan on that Thursday night. You literally watched 17 flags thrown in the entire game, and then the most obvious penalty, they don't get the face mask in the end zone. That's my whole thing. I'm with you. There's no consistency. Okay, fine, throw 20 flags. I think you're ruining the game, but at least get it right.
They moved that game to Sunday night. So after a full day of racing Friday and a full day of racing Saturday, Vikings fan like you gets to sit all day Sunday and wait for your game. Everybody in the gambling world is dismissing your team as being a fraud. They're not real. They're going to fade. Sunday night, are the Vikings beating the Colts?
Oh, especially not knowing what that quarterback situation in Indianapolis, is he going to pull himself out because he's too tired at some point? Yeah, the Vikings get back on track. They get back on a winning track. And we also want to thank number 29 for the Bears on behalf of the Lions, the Pack, and the Vikings. Thanks for ending your 4-race winning streak with hubris against the Commanders, fans.
It's tremendous. Todd, give the folks the schedule. What are you guys doing on FanDuel TV? Where can they watch you leading up to the Breeders' Cup? Did it cut him off again?
We have our breakfast and tomorrow as well on Wednesday.
Okay, sorry. Your modem was not cooperating. It was tomorrow on Wednesday.
He's out.
I think we lost him.
Frozen. That's
Okay,
it.
we lost him. All right, we lost him. Thank you, Todd, for coming on. We
Awesome.
apologize.
I love talking to that guy.
It was
Hopefully
great.
he's going to be there on Friday. We're going to find him. We're going to meet him.
Say hi. Sorry
Yeah.
about the technical difficulties. I think he was in his hotel room, so we all know how hotel modems can work. They don't always work the way that they're supposed to.
With the wire now. You know that wire.
You travel with the wire.
You have to travel with the hard wire.
Oh, hell yeah! Oh, I mean, in the hotel room. Yeah.
Without travel. No, you have to.
Yeah, but hotel room Wi-Fi for video is so brutal. It's just not cooperative. It's not the way. It's the next big step forward in business travel will be when we have actual real high speed, not like 10 up and 5 down. Like real good speeds that you actually can be using. Yes. Ethernet cable. Yes.
Yes, Vinny.
Ethernet cable. Correct. Yes. So good stuff with Todd. Appreciate him coming on. So American Bikini and then 2 horses in the juvenile that we'll watch on Friday. Looking forward to see their odds coming up on Friday when we get there because we're going to be betting and watching these races. Sounds like that will be a late race. So we'll be off the air by the time that race goes off.
We'll be off the air by the time all the big races go off. We'll catch the first few. I don't know what time original post time is. It might be 1 o'clock.
So for the first race? That makes sense. I know the races are going on because one of the concerns they have is that jockeys, and I don't mean to besmirch jockeys, but this was said to me this morning that there's a potential for jockeys to be flaky on race day.
Yeah.
So they can be kind of all over the place. So
of course
we may or may not grab them to grab jockeys who may be able to come on with us. So but that was good. So tomorrow we're scheduled to have a jockey to come on tomorrow. And then Thursday, Randy Moss is slated to come on and join us as well. We'll get his thoughts. American Bikini. How about that, man? American Bikini. How about that for a name of a female horse running in the the Philly juvenile race? That's something else coming over from Japan. So we'll get to that coming up Friday. Remember 1:30 for us. We will be, or 1 o'clock, 1 to 3 rather for us live from Del Mar. We'll be there for the road show. Overlooking most likely the track coming up here for the Breeders' Cup.
That place that he talked about with the fish tacos.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever go to Del Mar is my buddy Barry here. We're working at the Golden Nugget. I'm here a year working. He says in the summer, we got to get out of this heat. I'll drive. I'll pick you up. Tell Jess we're going. And we'll be back that night. And he loves the drive. And I'm like, where are we going? It's one of those moments where he goes, it was one of those like, whose car are we taking? I mean, it was literally like the town.
The town.
I didn't ask. I said, how long's the drive? He said, I'll make it in 5. I said, oh, okay. So where are we going? San Diego. All right. To do what? To go to the track. I'm like, this is going to be a hard sell. My kids are like 3 and 1.
Oh, no.
And I'm going to go, hey, just so you know, on Wednesday, I'm out.
I'm going to the track.
I'm going to the track. There's no track here in Vegas. No, it's in California. It's what?
Not just California. It's San Diego, California.
It's in San Diego. So it was a hard sell. He picked me up. We got in the car, turned on the radio, listened to music and then baseball and whatever. Get to the track, park. We go to this Brigadine place and have these fish tacos. And we're sitting there. There's no one there yet. We left before the sun came up, beat the heat, got there. Basically, we're the first customers of the day.
Wow.
We sat there, and I kept staring. And there's no camera phones. We didn't have camera phones.
Right.
This is 20 years ago. So I'm like trying to take pictures mentally in my head and going, do we have to leave? Like, do we got to go to – he's like, oh, the track's great. I said, it ain't going to get no better than this. Kind of watching the sun come up over the ocean, watching that train go by right along the walk.
I've been on that train. I've taken that train.
It's incredible.
San Diego's awesome. I mean, really, it's one of my favorite vacation spots. I've done it twice. It's such a neat part of the country, and whether it be just the kid, there's so much to do with families. There's so many cool things to do with the kids there, and there's adult things, obviously, with the track and everything else. So I've never been to Del Mar. I've been to San Diego a lot. So looking forward to getting there. And so, by the way, breakfast at the Breeders' Cup that got chopped off, that is every morning from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. Todd is
get
the
up and
host.
watch that tomorrow.
Yeah, Todd's the host. You get to see all the horses as they're training, a bunch of interviews, and a lot of great content for the Breeders' Cup. So that's on FanDuel TV, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time for breakfast at the Breeders' Cup with Todd hosting that. So there you go on that. So appreciate that. No D Stout, wrong Randy Moss. Everyone thinks it. Randy Moss. Not that Randy Moss. The other Randy Moss. The TV version of Randy Moss. The horse guy.
His
Randy
whole
Moss.
life, this guy's been answering the same question. And I'm going to ask him again on Thursday to clear it with everybody. But yes, not the Randy Moss, former wide receiver of the Vikings and Marshall football and all that other stuff. No, it's the Randy Moss who's hopefully going to give us the winner of that Friday futures race. Like I may have gotten an idea of something to wear. The future stars. I can wear something about stars on Friday. That might be
okay.
That might be a nice change.
Okay. Back to football. Stephon Diggs out for the year. ACL torn. How we feel about the Texans? Nico Collins hurt. Stephon Diggs.
Did they make a trade already for someone? No,
not yet.
I don't know. No, that stinks for them. But there's been more questions than answers about the Texans. No,
fair. Yeah. And look, it's sophomore slump, whatever you want to call it. The offense doesn't have the same bite that it did last year.
Right.
Trade for Thielen. Ooh. Interesting pickup if he goes to them. Don't mind that.
Do they need to make a move?
Yes. Oh, yes. Without a doubt. 100%. They need to make a move. Yes. Diggs out. Collins hurt. Yes. They 100% need to make a move.
They ain't making a move before tomorrow.
Why not?
They play tomorrow.
We can do it now.
Oh, no. Today's Tuesday.
Yeah. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Today Tuesday or Wednesday?
Today's Tuesday.
I don't even know what day it is right now.
Tuesday. Don't rush the week.
Thursday football. So maybe they make a move. Did they make a move before Thursday? No.
Not to play Thursday, but I think they can make a move because they have to, because any wide receiver currently that's going to get traded might be gone. I've seen 3 get traded already. So how many more wideouts are going to get traded? Chiefs got theirs. Ravens got theirs. Texans better get theirs. Oh, and the Jets got theirs. There's been 4. So
who's available?
Well, if the Jets
Thielen
sell off everybody, Adam Thielen sounds like he's available with the Panthers. So that's not a bad move for them.
Devontae, are you hinting at that?
Well, I'm not hinting at it. The actual Jets beat reporters are hinting that out. Like that's out there. Like there's a lot of talk that if things continue to go, it's not just Devontae Adams, it's Aaron Rodgers.
What?
Mike Florio this morning
on that out there.
Mike Florio on ProFootballTalk.com.
Is that real?
If
or are they just floating this out there?
If the Jets lose and go 2-7, knowing that Rodgers may walk and they get nothing for him, they may trade them both. Rodgers and Adams both get traded. If a high-profile quarterback goes down in the next 2 weeks,
oh my goodness.
Save a season?
Favorites at one place, or no, a couple places, and they're 1.5 point favorites elsewhere. What?
Yeah, that's right. Bill's got Cooper. It's 5. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of wideouts have been traded. Good point. Yeah. Good point.
Which turns out that might be the best move on
Amari Cooper going to the Bills, yeah.
That really, I don't know. That Bills team is really shaping up.
Cooper Kupp could go there. Good point. Cooper Kupp could get traded.
We're not trading him. The Rams are in it again. They're healthy.
They are. I don't know. This is an interesting. At 2-7, why wouldn't you trade Rodgers?
Why he's not? He doesn't have a contract beyond this year.
Rodgers can walk. Yeah, he can walk.
Where is he going to go?
I mean, he's 41 years old. He's 41 years old.
Well, at some point,
somebody will take him.
Somebody will take him.
Somebody will. Yeah. I mean, hell, the Vikings took Brett Favre at the end. Somebody will take him.
I don't know. You guys are watching the show. We got a lot of people in here watching the show right now. If the Jets trade Aaron Rodgers, who says yes? Give me a team name right now in this chat.
No, it would have to be a major injury suffered to a contender. They would need to have a quarterback go down.
Okay. How about get hurt? Every time you say go down, pause, I just go, wait, what are you doing right now?
That's your brain. That's not mine.
Believe me, I'm not the only one that's thinking it.
A quarterback goes down. He gets hurt. He gets injured.
Jim, he's not going to the Packers. Fish, Carolina Panthers.
He might be
The
totally
Raiders.
He might be totally off on the Packers. He said
One star.
the groin injury to Jordan Love would be hysterically funny if they went and got him, brought him back. How would Packer fans feel?
LL, are you poking the bear? The Steelers? There was zero chance. 0 upon 0, 0 that the Steelers would say, yeah, Aaron, come here. That will definitely not work. JPC the fourth, don't send him to the Steelers. You guys doing to me right now. Everything's fine.
One more.
Did you see Fields sitting next to Rush yesterday? They were talking, hanging out, fist bumping, bro. Love. This is
Fields wants out. He wants to be gone.
No, he don't.
He wants to go
He's
play.
Fine.
He wants to play.
You're
The Colts just benched Anthony Richardson this morning. Joe Flacco will start against the Vikings on Sunday Night Football.
You know what?
What?
If Aaron goes to the Colts, he can go right to the Thunderdome and sit with Pat every week and do the show. That's where he's going. That's where he's going because they got Joe Flacco to finish out this year. Aaron's going to Indy. A lot of old guys have finished their career in Indy. Phillip Rivers,
Right?
Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Right? Huh?
Not horrible. Not totally against it.
Wow.
Not totally against it.
Was the tap out? Why? Was it?
Well, I think it's because the offense, he just can't throw the football. He just can't move. Flacco moves the offense much more. Shane Steichen wants to win. He doesn't want to. This is the guy who was the 4th pick overall in last year's draft, and he simply cannot play the position. Pretty clear. They missed on it.
I think you have to, at some point as the coach, you go upstairs to the offices and you say, look, if we're going to play this guy, we're not going to win. He's going to get reps, but we're going to be 6-11.
Right.
And until you tell the media and you tell everybody, I need to win because I don't know my status. So I'm going to play the guy that the locker room believes in and I believe in that's going to give me the best chance to win. So I don't think this is a bad move. Do you? I mean, play Flacco.
I would have played Flacco from the get-go personally, but they wanted to see what Richardson could do. He can run. He's an amazing athlete. He just can't throw. He can't read defenses. He cannot feel the rush. He turns the ball over. He throws interceptions.
I don't know. It felt like they had a vibe when Flacco came in and won the game.
Agreed.
And I just, would have said to the locker room, look, we're going with him until he gets hurt. And if he don't get hurt, we're staying with him. Anthony, you're sitting down right now. That's the way we have to do this. I don't know. You can be a really good athlete there. Addison Wrench just said it, a freak athlete, but not a good QB.
Yeah. Why
can't both be true?
They can be true.
Yeah.
And that's just, they thought they could develop him and they can't. So tough. To the NBA, Paulo went nuts in the first half, 37 points in the first. He ended with 50 against the Pacers. Where are you on Indy? I don't know how much you've been watching the Pacers or not, but the Pacers are off to a very not great start. And it's a little surprising to me. I thought that they'd get off to a much better start than they have. And then Paulo goes for 37 in the first half last night. Magic might be better than we think.
Magic are going to be competitive and they're going to be in the playoffs and they're getting more confident. They got this guy who's bona fide a star, scorer, somebody that the whole team can depend on. I don't know. I like him.
3-1 Magic now, 1-3 Pacers now. Celtics got to 4-0 last night straight up, 3-1 against the number. They beat Milwaukee. They covered. It was looking very dicey there at the end. A lot of the scrubs came in. It was like, are they not going to cover this 9.5-point number? But they got it. First time the first half team total missed on the season. However, the Celtics just couldn't really do very much in the first half, except for one Mr. Peyton Pritchard, who was seen playing a pickup game with a young man who was over the age of 12 on a Boston playground before the game. He then goes off for 28 points, 8 of 12 from 3. He's 10-1, third option, 6th man of the year. Any interest?
6th man of the year, Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that watch the show that like to partake in those. I personally do not. Good luck with that. We'll continue to watch it, talk about it, and
he shoots like this. He's in the conversation.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I mean, he was calling out hand checks to the kid that was guarding him on the playing basketball. It was awesome. It's like, you're hand checking me, bro. You're hand checking me.
I love that. I don't know.
There was nobody around. It was quiet. He had a beanie on, and someone was like, "Is that Peyton Pritchard? What is he doing?" I know where he was. He was in the North End in Boston playing pickup. I know the exact basketball court he was at. I've shot baskets at that court, at that basketball court that he was at. And I was like, "Holy crap!" He's in the North End.
It?
Just somebody walking by. It's like through the chain link fence.
Really?
You just see him playing him and one kid. That's it. 2 people there. Him and the kid. Saw the kid shooting baskets. He was either walking by or driving by on the way to the Garden. The North End is about 2 miles from the Garden, so it's there. What's a bad look? That's a bad look. It's a bad look for a kid to go in there. Come on, you don't mean that, Jimmy football.
I don't know. For
Peyton Pritchard to go play pickup basketball with a little kid, make the kid's life.
I didn't see it, so I don't know. I am not really watching.
Oh, his girlfriend posted it. Thank you. Okay, his girlfriend was the one shooting it. Okay, so they both stopped and did it. Okay, it's his wife. It's his wife now. They got married in the offseason.
Thank you, Justin McCullough.
He had a hell of a year. Peyton Pritchard had a hell of a year. He won the world championship. He married his now wife, who was absolutely stunningly beautiful, and then he got a new contract.
Where did he go to college?
Oregon. He's an Oregon kid.
It's fantastic.
Oh, so he had the best of all the guys who had great years. I was like, Pritchard had. I was like, I want to see what he does, because when your life gets stabilized,
and he got a ring.
Right, your life gets stabilized, right? So now he's in the NBA. He was a 2nd round pick NBA guy, right? He was a fringe NBA player. That people were like, could he play? He could shoot, but could he play enough defense to justify being on a team? Became part of a Celtics team that went on a run, wins a championship, gets married, gets stable with a contract. Now he's an NBA player, bona fide. He's set for life, millions. What do you do with that when you're stabilized? Are you going to take off, or are you going to go down? And he is taking off at the moment. He looks like a guy who was ready to go, because no one hit a broadside of a barn last night but him for Boston. He saved their bacon.
Listen, if you're on the Celtics, you just do whatever everybody else is doing. Like just ride this out. They are so good. Milwaukee, I saw the score and then I read the box score, but I didn't watch one play and I didn't see one highlight.
Okay.
All I want to know is who's going to beat this team, because Milwaukee was allegedly the 2nd best team in the East.
Without Chris Middleton, it's not fair to judge Milwaukee. So they need to, when they're healthy, we can judge Milwaukee differently. But it's Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is not beating the Celtics.
2-0 still on the table. Relax, Chef B.
But okay,
they may win 65.
Hold on. Somebody made look the year after the Warriors won the championship, and everybody questioned them because LeBron got 3 of the players in the Cavaliers were hurt that year for LeBron, and everyone questioned, saying if LeBron was healthy, LeBron would have beaten the Warriors. The following year, the Warriors were so pissed off about those questions, they won 73 games and set the record for the most wins of all time. Now, I'm not saying Boston's going to win 74 games. Just saying we have seen this before, where a championship team decides to say, you know what? F you, all of you. We're going to beat the crap out of you. You can't say crap about us afterwards. We're going to annihilate the entire league.
Yeah.
The Warriors did it first. Celtics might do it. Might be following those footsteps.
It was a fun year to be in the book. And we just made the line, whatever we wanted, and tried to get anybody to bet the Warriors, against the Warriors.
Right.
Yeah. So there was a lot of times it was just like, just make them 2 points higher. They're -10 everywhere. Make them 12. So what? So what? There were nights we needed the Warriors because we got the rhombuses and the parallelograms and the bots to take the dog. I don't know. I like watching basketball played perfect or close to perfect.
Mhm.
So I'm good with good teams, and I'm good with somebody trying to get them. But I don't know. I'm not paying any attention to officially till really baseball season is over, which will
It's
probably
tonight.
be tonight.
So get ready.
So we'll start watching more, basketball more. I mean, the college is coming. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
one
a week
week.
away.
One
It's
week.
a week away.
The Suns gave the Lakers their first loss of the year last night. You and I both called that last night. Booker and KD combined for 63 of the 109 points for the Suns. Suns are going to be a problem. They're going to be fun.
I don't know if you can go back and watch the show, and a lot of people do that. We said, what was the line on that game? And you said it was 2.5 overnight. And they said it should be 4.
Fell 4.
It fell 4.
Mhm.
It's pretty good when you still got it and you're not even trying. I was laughing. I was like, did that fall 4?
That's why I said money line. Don't
So
even
it
play
closed.
with it. 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4.
It closed 4.5 in places. There were people that hopefully, didn't bet it at 4.5 and you lost by a hook. It stinks. Sometimes you lose by a hook. Suns, can they win the West?
Yes.
They can win the West.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, they can. Will they? I don't know. But Toronto gave Winnipeg their first loss of the year last night. San Jose got their first win of the season last night. Do you see how they did it against Utah?
I did not see anything.
Okay. So this is a team that they're 0-7-2.
Yep.
All last year, they didn't win a single game in the month of October. And yet the Sharks scored 3 goals in the third period and 1 goal in overtime to win 5-4.
It's a tough loss for
Utah.
It's a tough loss. They were minus 280. Remember that?
Yeah. And they were getting killed. You probably kicking your heels up going, I'm good. This is great. We got this in the, oh no. What happened?
It's amazing how we're talking about like scoring was down in baseball and scoring in football with the flags and the this and the that, and college football, the scoring is down, totals in the 60s keep going under. And then you watch hockey and you go, what's happening right now?
Except when you're Calgary, because I had the over last night and they gave up 5 goals and couldn't score a single goal against the Golden Knights. I need one. I need 1 goal, Calgary. 1. Lost 5-0.
But teams are scoring, and they're scoring in bunches, and they're scoring late because I've been kind of trying to, just for something to do, look at the totals in game in the third period and go under 5.5. It's pretty good. It's 2-1. Should be okay. No, it's not, because you get 3 goals in 5 minutes, and you're like, what the hell did I just do?
The other big news in the NHL is that Connor McDavid's hurt.
Not good.
6-1 loss to Columbus. Edmonton is 4-5-1 on the year. Another really slow start for the Oilers. Last year they did this. They fired their coach. Now McDavid's hurt. Lower body injury.
Not good. Not good at all.
Bad.
I don't know. This might be one of those situations where it's wait and see.
Okay.
And I was reading something this morning that it might be an ankle.
Yes, lower body of some sort.
Again, what they start with this lower body stuff, I don't even know. If you were to determine, like, tell them lower body, what would you think of? Would you go knee, ankle, foot, thigh, quad?
What sport? It would depend on the sport.
I don't know if we're just hockey, because hockey gets away with lower body injury.
Groin to me.
Groin.
For lower body, because you can't say it like you would say ankle, because so many hockey players get, this when you're skating, you deal with so many thigh, leg, hamstring, groin injuries. Somewhere in that region is what I would go with for lower body. Otherwise, call it an ankle or a knee. You're hiding it. Whenever I hear somebody say lower body, I always think you're hiding what the real injury is.
Right.
You don't want them to know what it is.
Yeah.
The Edmonton's the New York Yankees of the NHL. And yes, Calgary, Linus, I'm on the Calgary under their point total this year. I bet under. I agree. The Calgary regression appears to have begun, and we'll ride this all year long, all the way on to the bottom. I would agree. They got off to a little bit of a faster start than I wanted them to.
Right.
but last night they looked like one of the worst teams in the league. They're 5-3-1 on the year. They've lost 3 games in a row. They've lost 4 out of 5. And yeah, I think you're right. Ride it. They play tomorrow night. They play at Utah. It's a good team to fade on the puck line.
Whew. Yeah, I don't know. JPC the fourth said he thought of bruised ball sack. That's on you when you think of lower body injury. I didn't. That one wasn't on my list. I literally was thinking knee.
He slammed hard into the board on his backside. So it's right around the butt, groin, hip.
I immediately think knee. I don't know why.
Okay. It's fair. I give you that. All right, tonight we got Denver on the road against Brooklyn. This number is coming down. Denver is on a back-to-back after an overtime win last night in Toronto. 4.5. Where's this number going to close?
It's painted 5 now.
Oh, went back up. Okay.
So I guess closer to backward 6 neighborhood. Okay. But once you get the bet on the favorite, now you never go back. So if it was 4.5s, then going back down. So it's 5 or more is where it finishes. Are you interested in this game?
Bet it already.
You bet Denver? You took Brooklyn? Good luck with that.
Back to back.
Wow. Okay.
Give me 5.5.
Enjoy.
Denver doesn't look right.
Not yet.
Denver
they will.
Denver doesn't look right. On a back-to-back, they're fine. Yeah, they'll be fine. But
no, I mean, yeah.
On a back-to-back?
Specifically tonight, but yeah. I'm not.
Brooklyn beat Milwaukee worse than Boston beat Milwaukee.
How did you end up on this game? There's 4 NBA games today. Dallas, Minnesota is a monster.
You want to bet that game? You tell me what side to bet that game. Dallas is on a back-to-back. Minnesota's laying 5. Want no part of this game. To bet this game, no way. It's a great watch. I want no part of this game.
Under, no?
Okay, maybe. I'm not betting totals this early in the NBA season. No way.
Oh, see, the totals are where it's at.
Yeah, not right now.
At 5, it's a hard number.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it might be enough taking it, but I definitely don't want to lay it.
So, no. And the total, I'm not interested in either because Dallas gets hot from the outside. They blow over this.
I mean, Sacramento, Utah, you can't end up on that game. I don't think.
Yeah, you want to bet this game without Steph? With Steph being questionable? You can't bet this game. This game's not bettable.
New Orleans is favored.
Because Steph's out.
Favored.
Steph's not going to play.
Oh, my goodness.
You want to bet
the NBA?
You want to bet Golden State without Steph Curry?
It's
no, thank
the
you.
29th of October. The season just started. We got guys not playing.
Bad ankles. No, he got hurt. He stepped because Steph is officially out. Okay. He stepped wrong. He re-hurt the left ankle again. It's bad, man.
No.
This guy was an ankle problem his whole entire career.
Man, that stinks.
Bad. Not good. You can't bet this game. This game's not bettable. So how to end up on this game? It's the best game to bet. Brooklyn at home, back to back. Brooklyn at home just beat Milwaukee at home. They're playing better. They got 2 offensive stars who could score. And Denver played an overtime game last night against Toronto.
Wow.
That's out. Take the dog. I think Denver wins, but I got 5.5.
Okay.
That's how I got to it. The Wild are 5-1-2 against your Pittsburgh Penguins. Total's only 6. Small number, minus 115.
I'm excited to watch it because it's Flowers' last game in Pittsburgh.
Are they going to do anything special?
I don't know. It's weird when the opposing team guy comes in, right? Like, how do you do it without disrespecting the people on your team and your bench and your fans? But everybody wants to pay homage to him. The guy, I mean, they loved him in Pittsburgh. They loved him here. He's just been a fantastic. They don't make really the goalies the captains of the teams, but he's always got a presence on whatever team he's on. He won a couple Stanley Cups. I don't know. The Penguins are struggling so bad. Can't believe this line is only minus 115. Let me hit refresh because I didn't hit the refresh yet in the hockey. You like a side?
No.
Over to?
Maybe 6 flat, sure.
Yeah.
Don't mind it. Pens have allowed 3 goals in every game this year. Many have scored 3 and 7 of 8. Love the Wild. Over then.
It's got to be.
Tough game to bet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Minnesota or nothing for me. I don't want the Penguins right now at all.
Best game of the night. Rangers Caps. 6-1-1 New York, 5-2 Washington.
Which, if you'd have said this a few weeks ago, you'd have been like, yeah, the Rangers are going to be huge favorites in this game, and they're not going to have a problem. Well,
Nice
now,
150.
which is significantly high for a favorite, I think. I don't know. Washington Live. That's my opinion.
Home.
You?
Yep. Sure.
Yeah,
At
Caps
home.
Live. Yeah, that's gonna be a really fun hockey game. Did Philadelphia Boston make the list?
Better to book it.
Okay.
That's it. Better to book it. The 1-7-1 San Jose Sharks are on a back-to-back. They're taking on the Kings tonight, minus 290. They won last night.
Doesn't even make sense.
Now they're like Kings are minus 290. Total is 6.
It's minus 305 right now.
Oh, okay, you're higher. Okay.
How are you going to get a bet on the Sharks? I mean, this is part of the problem. Everyone wants to be a book. Every book's all they do is make money. They this, they that. You got to put up a number. What the hell do you make this number?
Not high enough.
The Kings are going to win. Saying it right now, the Kings are going to win. But man, that would be a hell of an upset. Like last night, the price on the Kings is the same as the price on the Utah Hockey Club was last night at home on the first game of a back-to-back. Now they're on the road, the Kings are, and the price is the same. What the hell would they have this number if it was in LA? Minus 400? Is it that much of a difference? Holy crap.
It's 1-7-2. Sorry. So it's 1-7-2 San Jose to be accurate. But they have one win on the year against the Kings. The NFL made an announcement this morning for all you Simpson fans out there that they're coming back with some special games. The Simpsons Fun Day football game will take place on Monday night on December the 9th, streaming on Disney Plus and ESPN Plus. Will you watch the Simpsons football game when it's Cowboys Bengals?
I think I'm Simpsoned out. Simpsons was great, must watch. You had to watch The Simpsons because everybody was talking about it and it was funny and all this other stuff. But I mean, all right, Addison, we'll be watching this. Can't help it.
On not sober.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'll peek at it. I like when I watch the games. You know what I like to watch?
What?
The game.
Yeah, but I fine. Yes, I agree with you.
The game.
Yeah.
I want to watch the game. It's all this other fun stuff. Like I'll watch the game and then maybe I'll go back and watch that broadcast to see how they did it.
Fair point. Both teams are probably out, so it's a novelty thing to throw up there because they both suck. So, yes, it's the same as a Toy Story. Yes, same deal where they've got.
They did a Toy Story one last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you watch it?
I don't think I watched it. No, I watched part of the Slime Bowl.
Counselor, did you watch it or not?
I don't think so. And I may have flipped by it.
I think so. Is yes or no, counselor? No. Answer the question.
If I flip around or if I saw highlights, if I saw it on Twitter, did I watch it or did I watch a highlight package for 2 minutes?
If you watch the highlight package, that's different. If you turned on the broadcast of a Toy Story football game that happened once in the history of the NFL, you would remember.
Bijan looks so fast in the Toy Story game. Oh, it's very glitchy. Oh, it's very glitchy on it. Okay.
I don't do the glitchy.
Okay.
I do not like the glitchy.
Mikey loved it. Watched Toy Story game. It was awesome. He said
it was awesome.
So I guess we're watching the NFL game on with the Simpsons.
Give the kids a pull right now, please. We didn't do any polls on a Tuesday. We didn't do any ads. You guys hopefully
haven't done ads for a long time
on the YouTube.
In 3 weeks.
Ads off because we got complaints and texts and emails. TheBVBShow.com. You can always reach us via email that way, via Twitter as well on the different things at Boston versus the Book. Will you watch the Simpsons NFL game between who?
Bengals, Cowboys.
I mean, those are brand names.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a Sunday night?
Monday night.
Monday night. I don't know. I mean, put it up. Vote. Yes or no. And by watching it, you have to go on that feed and watch it. That's the answer.
Well, it's Disney Plus.
You.
Yeah, you have to go to the app. You can't just flip on your cable. You got to go to the app to watch it. It's on Disney Plus.
Yes. Okay, that's fine.
So you got to go. You can't bump into it. You got to go find it. Jerry Jones as Mr. Burns is gold. South Park would be better. My gosh, South Park would be a riot.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That
know.
would be awesome.
I mean, do we have a lot of old heads in here? No's out to a very big lead early that they will not be watching The Simpsons.
South Park would be good.
Ooh, South Park would be good. You're right. Thank you, King of Car Seats. I don't know. I already voted.
Yes, football guy. Yes, the commercials on YouTube does get us revenue, but we have sponsors that have been able to give us on days that we have sponsors. We haven't been putting on the ads, and we've left it off for a couple of weeks now just to see how you guys do from a numbers perspective. People haven't commented. You guys haven't really noticed, so I guess it means we can turn the ads back on. But we haven't on the live YouTube channel. We haven't had ads on for 3 weeks now.
Right, we turned it off.
We turned it off for a little while. Just
listen to the people.
Yep. See how it goes. So we may turn it back on, but right now they're off for right now. And oh, there we go. A lot of yeses coming in. So it's pretty even right now. 50-50 on this. Time now for Bet It or Book It. All right, again, bets I've made. Dave says he likes it by booking it, or by betting it rather. He doesn't, he books it. Nets plus 5.5 at home tonight against the Denver Nuggets.
It's a good number, but good luck. You can have that home dog tonight. I'll take Denver. I'll say
3-point win. Sunbelt Funbelt football. Louisiana is 6-1. Louisiana has won 4 games in a row.
What the hell are you doing?
Texas State. Let's go, Louisiana. Raging Cajuns plus 4. Better to book it.
I didn't even know they were playing.
College football tonight, baby. Let's go.
I'll say book it. I don't. Who are they playing? Who are they playing?
Louisiana is playing Texas State on the road. Texas State is 2-1 in the Fun Belt. Louisiana is 3-0 in the Fun Belt. 4-3 against 6-1.
So I get the home team -4.
You get the home team, home favorite -4. Yep.
Sign me up. I'll book it. Okay.
It's Louisiana is 3-1 on the road this year. ATS. They played very well on the road so far this season. High scoring game. 58.5 the total.
Fantastic.
59.5 now in some books.
Are you going to watch this game?
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
You're going to watch this game.
Triple screens going tonight because I've got basketball going tonight with the Nets and the Nuggets. Football going Louisiana, and then I got the Bruins. I got the best number on the planet because I bet it before Corpus Sala got announced.
So you're not going to have the World Series on at all?
I'll be on. I have 2 TVs in my. I'm leaving my 2 TVs in my living room now. So I'm totally bachelor partying out my living room. So I have 2 TVs now.
She's back in New Hampshire.
Yeah, so she's
back.
So she's in New Hampshire. So although she wants to do more of a TV than me, like she keeps on talking about doing a 4 60-inch TV setup for us, and I'm like, let's do it. But so I have 2 big TVs, so I'll have everything on. I'll have hockey, basketball, base. I'll have everything on because there's so.
Where's the kid gonna be as you freeze? You're frozen. You're frozen. Snap your fingers. Come back, Jack. Come on.
Kids.
There you go. Okay.
Kids with me. She likes it.
Okay.
She'll watch it with me.
All right.
We're all in.
All right. Over 6 in the Bruins game against the Flyers.
Corporal Sala.
All right. We'll bet this game.
Yeah, this is a joke.
Yeah.
This is I woke up this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. Corporal Sala's in net. You can't even, I mean, this is a luck of the draw. I thought it was going to be Swayman. It was projected to be Swayman. It was more of a bet against the Flyers because the Flyers goaltender gave up 5 goals in his last game and 4 goals in the game before. So Bruins need to start winning. Yes, it's 6.5 now because of the fact that Corporal Sala is in net for the Bruins. SoCal. He stinks.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's a bet.
Even 6.5, I think you'd bet it because of who's in net. It was 7-5 last game for the Flyers.
There's going to be some times where we're going to talk about whether the total should be 7 or not, and it's coming quick. Be one of those discussions in a room that would be having where, like, look, they're going to bet under. So what? Season B's parlay hit on Saturday. Is that 1-0?
First time.
Yeah,
no.
Okay,
first time. It's 1-3 so far. It's not been good.
Somebody keep track of that. I don't want to give Josie Myers another job.
It's the Bruins who are blowing it, not the Celtics.
Right. Yeah. We'll give somebody that job. Somebody can volunteer for that either in the Discord, get in the Discord, go to wvbshow.com or come in the chat and tell us you're keeping track of that. Keep a tracker. Let us know on the Twitter. Otto's
We're
got
1 and
enough to
3.
do with the sheets, but the
So.
C's and B's parlay will keep a running total of it because it's probably, depending on the Bruins season,
It's all in the
and
Bruins.
the number is going to be absurd a lot of times on the Celtics.
Yeah.
Taking the Celtics minus the points and the Bruins on a money line, it ain't going to pay. I think it's going to be a net loser for the season.
Because Boston won't cover these big numbers.
Of course.
Celtics won't cover the big numbers. So, guys, if you're watching live, stick around. Don't move. You're getting bonus time. For you guys who are on the replay crew, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We're back tomorrow on a Whale Watch Wednesday with Alex Kane. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys coming up Wednesday. Alex Kane and some more horse racing talk with the Breeders' Cup tomorrow as well. The rest of you, bonus time starts now. Favorite thing about today is what?
You had mentioned to me via a text about today being, what did you call it? World Stroke Day?
Correct. Yep.
So the fun part about sports, again, is that it kind of brings you together. It bridges relationships that you may or not have with people, but you can always talk about sports. It's like, it's fun. And one of the things that I've done with the kids a lot of times with not just the gambling, but I'll be like, who do you like? Why? And all this other stuff. It's a baseball / softball / hockey / whatever. Everything. They really don't have much interest in football, but they do now because of the Chiefs. Anyhow, so talking to the two big consig and middle consig yesterday, they're rooting desperately for the Dodgers to sweep. And their teammates are calling me and like, hey, your daughters are being annoying. And I'm like,
oh, no.
Welcome to my world. I can't help you. I asked them all yesterday. I said, if the Dodgers win today, those tickets in Yankee Stadium are going to be pretty inexpensive. Would you like to go to the World Series? And I got my daughter on Cash Considerations. We recorded a show last night.
Right.
She left a glowing review for her experience at Yankee Stadium. That was any sponsorship items that we could have had with Yankee Stadium got eviscerated by her evaluation.
Good.
She never is going to go back again. She could go throw out the first pitch and she would tell them no. But one of the offshoots of the conversation was that Kelsey is looking at getting a new bat for the season.
Okay.
And she sent me a couple pictures of bats. And she goes, do you know why? Like they all had, the one she really liked had baby blue in it.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, you have no baby blue in your team uniform. Like, why are you getting baby blue? And she's like, well, you love that color. And I'm like, no, I do. I love it. I think it's awesome. And you should get whatever color bat you want. It's your bat, especially if you're going to hit doubles and bombs, bro. Get something you like and you like looking down at. And she goes, well, yeah, but that's the stroke color. And you had a stroke. And I'm going to get the blue on the bat. So I think of you, Coach, and me and us and softball every time I, go on a field. I'm like, get whatever you want.
Right.
I said, I don't care how much it costs. I don't care.
500. You're good. I'm good.
I'll send you the money tonight. Like, don't ask mama.
Yeah.
That's it. And I got tears in my eyes and I was like, I love you. She said, I love you too. And that was it. So I was like, you sent that text this morning and I was thinking of the conversation last night and I'm just one again, and just so happy to be alive, but two, all the people that had strokes and are unable to talk or unable to move the right side. I've heard the stories and try to be a living example that you can recover from it and you can be strong from it. And it's not the end all the time. It can be the beginning. Trying to just leave it. And, middle consig reminded me of that yesterday. And I was like, okay, yeah, don't just send me the bill for the bat. Don't worry about it.
whatever you need. Yeah,
whatever you need.
And I mean, I got it because Teddy Bruschi, who had a stroke, was on ESPN today talking about that and talking about FAST, which is face, arm, speech, and time are the three things just to make aware of, because awareness is such an interesting thing about, there's so many things that go on in our lives, right? Like you're walking by and you see somebody struggling or you're someone in your life, like your daughters realize you couldn't talk. So one of the things is speech. S. Face is your face drooping. Arms is one arm weak or numb. And can they not raise one arm up? And it's basically out of sequence. Your arms aren't being controlled by your brain anymore. And then time, which is what you've talked about a lot, about the 911 call that your daughter's made to get you into the hospital, get you into the operating room as fast as possible and to clear out the blood clot as fast as possible to save your life. And to have you be able to do what you do is remarkable. If you stop and think about the people that you mentioned, how many people don't have that? But Brewski is fine. You are fine because of people who can react quicker. And if we're all aware of it, that's why we have these World Stroke Days, and we have, all the different awareness days, so people can know if you see it and you go, that person's having a stroke, or that person's having a heart attack, or that person's having some type of issue that I recognize because I am aware of it. And people, family members, friends, whatever, seconds matter. Like literally seconds can change how things go.
It can change the results. If it's not, the worst that can happen, if you're unsure, is you go and they tell you, you got indigestion.
Go back.
You got this or you got that. But I will never forget that day, September 11, 2020. I woke up and could not plug my phone charger into my phone. I was holding my phone and I could not get the cord into the hole. And I'm like, what is wrong? And thank goodness the kids were home because of COVID, because when they came downstairs, I couldn't talk. I mean, she looked at me and I couldn't talk. And when they called 911, he asked me literally 3 questions. What's your name? Couldn't say Dave. Smile. Couldn't smile. So he was looking at my face. Yep. Stick your tongue out. I couldn't do it. And when he grabbed my right arm and said, whose arm is this? And he was holding it, I really couldn't do anything other than have him hold my arm. And he goes, he's having a stroke. Put him on the bus. Let's go. And it was that fast. He made that assessment 2 minutes into walking into our house. And next thing I know was an ambulance. I woke up 3.5 hours after surgery and haven't looked back since. So you need to know what it is. And that fast thing is great. It's a great way to, what it's done to my daughters once they realized I was okay and I came out of the hospital and everything, they are so more aware of their grandfather, their grandmother, different things. Like they ask good questions now all the time. And I think, like when I say to kids, no, like they're seeing things differently. It's not so scary because my grandmother, my nanny, her ended up being her third husband, had a stroke. I was so scared of it as a kid because he was a gregarious, big personality person. He never spoke again. And I used to just be like, man, I wish John could talk. I wish he could talk. And I was a little kid all the time. And he would still laugh like when something funny happened, but he was never the same. And I remember the first time after he got home from the hospital, and I was like, Naughty, what do I do? Like, what do I say to John? She's like, well, just talk to him. Like he's fine. He can hear you. He understands what you're saying. So we'll learn together. And I think it's such a good lesson. Like I have all these things come back on World Stroke Day or whatever it is. Just don't be afraid of it. Kind of learn and embrace it and know what you're looking for when something might be off.
Yeah, I think, obviously my health has been not great the last couple of months. And so it's been, I've been in and out of the hospital for the last couple of months with some stuff, and I still have to figure out what's going on with me. But I think Madeline's awareness of it all is interesting. I think when the kids start to she constantly asks me, Daddy, you're going to be okay? Daddy, you're going to be okay? You're going to be, I mean, you don't feel good right now, but are you going to be okay? And the back stuff is bad enough, but the heart stuff is really what's been so freaky with me. And being 47 and having to go through a lot of similar things that you've gone through
a lot of
with
things.
The stroke.
Yep.
I'm going through a similar situation. I haven't had the stroke, obviously. We're trying to nip that in the bud so it doesn't get to that point where I've got something like that. But it's a freaky thing. And I've been more aware of my own mortality over the last 2 months than I have my whole life. And I've always been super active. I've always been super able to go and do whatever I want. Go for a hike, go to the gym, go lift, go hit the bag, go box, whatever. And to not have that the last 2 months has really put things in a pretty crystal clear idea of we all will die at some point. So what are we going to do while we're here? What do you want to do while we're here? And because the average age expectancy of an American male is 73 years old. So let's just say I'm an average guy, right? I'm 47 years old.
You're on the back nine by that number.
I got 25 years to go and figure out what's going to go and happen. That means my kid's 35 years old when I pass away. So I got to figure out a lot of stuff to do. Like I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of things I got to figure out, have all these situations be put into place where I can go, all right, what is the next, how do I fix all of this? And doing it for my kid more than anything, doing it for Madeline, making sure that I'm going to be around and fixing all of it and being able to do. I mean, my back is a pain in the ass, but I can live a life. I can be perfectly healthy and live a life with my back the way it is the rest of my life. I want it fixed because I want to be able to get back to what I'm doing. The hard thing is a whole different ball of wax. That's a whole different, that's got to get fixed. Like now, it's like, what the fuck is going on with my heart? Once we get that fixed, I'm going to be a much happier person. But it's a big thing.
What you can do, what you need to do. It's a slow, always forward, never straight road. You go back and forth. The cool thing about this is I'm 6.5 years older than you and have had all this stuff happen, but have known you while it's happening.
Right.
And now we have kids that are literally a few months apart, kind of sharing questions unbeknownst to you and I with each other. And I get pieces and bits and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah. So
learn something new every day.
We're on the air every day for 2 hours and we have people from all over the world watching us, but we have 2 real life audience members watching every move that we're making and providing reviews to each other. That is really interesting because I get bits and pieces and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, good. Thanks for sharing. So yeah, we all have, as men, I think for years conditioned to not take care of ourselves. We take care of everybody else and we do what we have to do. Provide for your family, go to work, fight it off. I'm fine. I don't call in sick ever. Fucking job could care less.
Right. Ain't that the truth?
The fucking job could care less. So take care of the people in your life. Take care of yourself first and foremost. And don't be afraid of it. Accept it. Embrace the suck. Burn the boats. All these different things that we've heard from all these people that have kind of stared it in the face and said, okay, now what? Let's go do a horse show on Friday at Del Mar. Do you like horse racing? Well, no. Yes, maybe.
I do. I do. Don't much about it. Let's go.
Right. Let's go. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, it's great. Guys, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. We're back tomorrow. We'll watch Wednesday. Alex Kane comes on in as he does always, and another potential horse guest tomorrow, talking Breeders' Cup. This guy actually has won the Breeders' Cup Classic. The guy actually knows, not a handicapper, a damn jockey. A guy who's actually ridden this thing, a Hall of Fame jockey, is scheduled to join us tomorrow on the show. So if it happens, it's going to be pretty fun to get him on the air tomorrow, talking everything about losing weight, riding horses, how to do it, and what may happen coming up on Friday and Saturday at the Breeders' Cup. He's Dave. I'm Matt. Back tomorrow for a Wednesday, a Whale Watch Wednesday, BBB.